My name is Anthony, and in today's video of the second video of the HTML and CSS course, we're going to build a quite primitive web page according to the design that we have from a designer, which is also me. Just kidding. So I've prepared quite a simple design of the page with the header, the menu, a banner with an image of a background image, text, headline, a list of items, articles, a small contact form, button, and the footer. So what we're going to do now, let's start building our pages. So I already created a project, a folder. Let's say we have two files here, the HTML file, which we're going to use for a markup, the styles file, which we're going to use for styling. And I also created a folder with images that has two images from our design. Now, so let's start. Let's create a markup, as we know, exclamation mark, tab, we have a pre-created stuff, and let's first of all add a link of CSS with our styles. And in the styles, first thing I want to do is to get rid of the default margin and padding. So if you want to remove that paragraph padding or margin or something, some other elements, you put that symbol, it's a Shift 8, and you say that margin 0 and padding also 0. This is like a redefining the default browser styles. So now let's start. We have a header, which is header. We have a footer, obviously, which is a footer. And we're gonna have a main area, which will have section. And there's going to be obviously 3 sections. The first section is going to be the banner, the second article, the third contact form. But first, let's create the header. So what do we have here? We have a logo and a list of contacts, navigation menu sort of. So let's create first of all an image, which will be images. What do we have it here? Redux. Let's check. Let's open the page. And yeah, we have everything here. Awesome. Now let's go and second thing, we're gonna create a list of a menu. So we will need div, let's say class menu. We're gonna have div class menu item here. And here's gonna be home. Then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna have contacts. We're gonna have about, and we're gonna have products. Whatever. Right. Let's check it, and we have it. Awesome. Now let's do some styling. So we need to set the styles for header, and it will be the display of the element would be flex, justify content, space between. Let's see. Yeah, we have it on the logo on the left side. This is on the right side. Everything is fine. Now we need to modify the header menu. And let's say that I wanted to take a width of 70% of the page. I want it also to be actually display flex, align items center, and for my header menu item, I want to have a padding of, what is the padding? You select an element, you press Alt, and you'll see that, yeah, very different padding, but let's make it 16 pixels. 16 pixels on all the sides. Let's see what we have. Perfect. We have it properly aligned on the center because we have that menu which is taking 70% of the width. Here it is. And since we asked header to justify contains space between, we have that space between the elements. Right. Now what I want to do is I want to add the background for the header, and if you select an element in Figma or Scetch or any other tool you're using for designs, you will just see the color, you copy it, and we go to header and say background hashtag color. Let's check. Yep, we have it. Now I want to add a hover. Wait a sec. I think it's too close. So come on, leave it. What is the padding here? 16 pixels. All right. So let me, let's say header image, padding left 16 pixels. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to add the hover effect to the menu item. First of all, I also want to add a proper cursor, which is going to be pointer. So every time I hover it, my mouse cursor will become as a pointer. And the last thing, if you want to do the hover effect, you need to add a hover modifier, so-called. And let's say that on hover, I want to have a background red for now. Let's check. It works perfect, but I want not a red, but these kind of color. Sorry, let's see. Yeah, works perfect. The only problem is that we have a little bit of different color here. Font style. Let's also say that font family gonna be sans. What was it? PT Sans is a nice one, right? And let's add a default also serif. So in case this is not available, this is going to be applied. Let's see. Yeah, we have a better font family. Now, so we're pretty much done with the header. The only thing is that this seems to be a bold. Yeah. So let's say that the font weight is bold. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. It's bold. Now let's get back to the, since we've done with header and since the footer has exactly same structure, let's do it this way, but no styles are applied because we applied it only for the header. So what I want to do is say that not only header, but also a footer will have those styles. Here they are. Yeah, the problem is that I need footer here as well. I need footer here as well. I need footer here and footer here. Sorry. No. That's not gonna work like that. Not like this, but like footer. How can we actually make it a little bit better? Header footer, header image, footer menu. Well, theoretically we can just, since we have that kind of primitive page, we can remove it here and yeah, we're gonna have it this way. But I want my footer to always be on the very bottom of the page, and also to, if we scroll the page, it will stay on the very bottom. So what I do is that I say that footer will have position fixed, bottom 0, meaning it will stay on the very bottom, and width 100%, because the position fixed will make it make the size as it is on the content, let's say, of it. And let's see, it is on the bottom, and unfortunately now we cannot check if it's gonna be. However, we are trying to scroll. You see the header is jumping, but the footer stays on one position. So perfect. Right, now the main part. The main part is the section. So let's go back to HTML, go to section and say it's gonna be class big banner. So what we see here, we see an element with the background, with the kind of rounded borders. We see the headline and the text. So let's do it this way. We say that there's going to be an H1 with this text, and there's going to be a paragraph with this text. The size of the text is definitely 40 pixels is way bigger than the H1 default size, because if we go here and hover our thingy, we will see that this is a 24 pixels. So let's do it this way. We go bottom and say big banner, H1, font size 40 pixels. But before, we also have some additional styles for the container itself. So this guy has something around 80 pixels on top, on bottom, and on sides it's 160 almost. So let's add paddings. Let's say that padding is gonna be 80 pixels top, and actually let it be, we're not doing a pixel perfect, let it be like this. And also I wanna say that the text align should be center. Now, and also of course, since my headline has a spacing, 16 spacing on bottom, so we can say margin bottom 16 pixels. Let's see, looks perfect, right? The only thing we need to do, first of all, you see our main area actually is just literally touching the sides. I don't want it to be, because in my design we have like 30 sort of 2 pixels spacing. So let's go and improve it. So let's say that main will have padding of 16 pixels on everything. So now we have this. Yeah, perfect. Now the last thing to do with the with that big banner is that actually, you see, I made a mistake. The text should not be aligned center. I don't want it to be centered. I want it to stay in the center. Yeah, we need to do a little bit different thing. We can also say that it's gonna be a flex container. However, the flex direction is gonna be column, because default it's the row one, and align items is gonna be center. Yeah, now we have what we need. The last thing is to add a background image. We can directly say background image URL and add the images background clouds. I want to also make sure that the background position, where is it? Position is center, and that the background size is cover, meaning that it will cover the entire container that we're using. Ta-da! Works perfect. Just last thing is that we need a border radius 8 pixels. Yeah, we have it. Perfect. Just one thing, this has a 42 pixels margin top, 42 pixels from the header. Yeah, awesome, perfect. So we're done with that section. Now what I want to do is to go to a next section. Let's close this one, and let's say this is gonna be a articles, right? I think I have a typo here. Yeah, right. So what is an article? Article is basically a container with a border radius, with the article name and article text. Yeah, let's make it actual article. Article. Yeah, which will have an H2, I guess, with the article name, and we're gonna have a paragraph with some text. And let's have 6 of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. right? Let's check this out. Yep, we do have it, but however, they look not as we expected. So let's apply again the styles for our articles. Let's go down and say that our articles, we want them to be display flex, justify content. No, I don't need it right now. Align items center. And yeah, and let's see. And also I want to flex wrap to wrap when the screen will change its width. Let's see now. Nothing changed because we didn't specify the actual width of each article. So let's go and say, I would also actually apply. No, I don't need it. Let's say now article to have flex buzzes 30%. Now we see it is perfect, right? And let's finish. We want a background. Background is this one. So we go and say flex buzzes is, by the way, the size of the parent element that this child element will occupy. Background color, border radius 8 pixels. And let's add a margin bottom 16 pixels so they will not stick to each other, right? Awesome. Now they are kind of into each other, very close to each other. What if I say, you can, by the way, you can write styles in the DevTools. They won't be saved. It will just a temporary, like to test. Let's see if justify content space between will do the trick. Seems, yeah, it does. Okay, let's add it to the articles. Justify content space between. Perfect. And actually, I'm just thinking maybe not a margin bottom, but the margin, and not a 16 but 8, and here 0. Yeah, all right. So and also I need a padding inside. What is the padding? Let's check. 16 pixels. Padding 16 pixels. Check this out. Yeah, awesome. Now the problem is that they kind of look not really okay. And if I actually change the margin to total one, yeah, so they would have space here, but they look quite not okay, because they're taking the entire place. If I now, yeah, I will need to remove it. Yeah, okay, we don't need justify content on articles anymore since we have margin. And why is it so? Yeah, I forgot margin. Right, yeah. Now the thing, we can, in the DevTools, you have that icon to turn on the responsive mode, so you can just drag it and see what is happening. So now what I want to see is, let's make it a little bit bigger. So we see that on the size of, on the size of 100, we have actually not a good way to display the page. You see, we can stretch the browser as much as we want, and then the content of the page also will stretch. Let's actually limit the content area of the main section to something, to some gridding, let's say some grid system. So we have a grid system that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main screen sizes, starting from extra small, which is less than 576 pixels. The small one is something that is bigger than this, but smaller than this, which is the start of the medium, which is going to be medium up until 992 of a large, and then extra large is everything that's bigger than 1200 pixels. So let's limit our, let's go actually to design and see, okay, our content is 1217, right? So we can assume that, actually I would do it as large, to be honest, and limit the width. Okay, so let's do it this way. 960. We go and let's test. Let's say that the main will now have max width 960 pixels, and I want it to be on the very center. Margin 0 auto. Perfect, right? Let's add those styles to the code and make it a little bit smaller. Right, and when we have where we have our main, yeah, awesome. Now I want my come on, why is it not moving? Yeah, I want my these guys to actually be 3 in a row, and maybe flex basis. Let's make it, given that we have that kind of padding and margin, or let's try another thing, width 30%, 29, yeah, doesn't really matter. Let's just decrease it to 28, 28, right. Let's say we have this resolution. Perfect, right. Now you see that when we're changing the screen size, the flex container automatically wraps the unfitting element to the next page. But I want to make it, because this looks quite awful, I want to have it to look it nice on every resolution. So let's see when it's going to be triggered. 931, right? So we say in CSS we have the thing called media query, and we say that for every screen and max width of 931 pixels, right? Is it 931? Yeah, sorry. 931, yeah, when it switches. I want the article to be flex basis 50%. Actually 48, I would even say, right? No. Let's see. Justify content center. Then when we go here, it switches to 2, perfect, right? And then on the 831, no, let's think. This is quite a tricky part. So here it goes to 2, and I want this to be 2 up until, let's say, 876, 47, 45. Okay, given the margin and the padding, let's make it 45. 45, right? Let's see. 3, 2, and yeah, and starting on, let's say, 5. What was this? What was it? 576. 576. let it be just 100%. Let's see. 2 and 1. Yeah, awesome, just awesome. This is the responsiveness. Yeah, it takes some time to understand it, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm just thinking maybe we can say not a center, but space between, let's say, yeah, initially it will be space between, but starting from this guy, I want the articles to justify content center, right? So this is the desktop application size, and this is the, I just wonder if we can say space between as well here. Yeah, let it be just space between everywhere. Would it work? Let's see. Yeah, it works. Fine. Yeah, perfect. Also, yeah, let's make a little bit of 32 pixels padding from top margin, margin top, 32 pixels here. Looks just perfect. And we need, yeah, since we have that fixed footer, let's make main part to margin bottom 50, actually 48 pixels. Oh, we can do it like this, 48 pixels outer, and we no longer need this, right? And yeah, perfect. The last part is the form. Let's see what we have here. We have a h1, an input with the label and the input itself and the button. Let's create it. And it's gonna be class contact form. So it's gonna have an h1, which will say contact us. And it's gonna have actually the form. We don't need an action now because no JavaScript for now. And it will have a div class form field, which will have a span as a label, class label. First one's gonna be name, and we're gonna have an input type. One is gonna be text, and we'll actually add a placeholder, enter your name. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna create two more. One is gonna be another email number. Here we're gonna have type email. Here we're gonna have type number. Enter your email, enter your telephone. Yep, and we're gonna need the button. Button class submit button. It's gonna be the name will be send, and yes. So now what I wanna check, let's check how it goes. It is here, perfect. We even have some styling here. Now let's add styles. So we have basically it properly displayed, but I want my form label and input to be in vertical position. So let's go and say somewhere here, contact form. This is the parent, this is the child. So I'm saying that form, which is inside the contact form, please display not the form actually, but not the form, but the form field. Yeah, exactly. Form field, display flex, flex direction column. I forgot the dot. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. And now I need to a little bit limited the fields to limit the form, I would say, and let's try to apply max width 50%. Perfect. Oops. And let it be in the middle. Margin 0 auto. Actually, I would apply it to that section. I would apply it to the entire section. Yeah. So let's say contact form, max width 50% and auto. But I want to make sure that my form on the small screen size will have width 100%, right? And let's quickly check it. Yep, here we, no. Not a max width, max width. Yes or no? Yes. Perfect. Now let's add a little bit styling. First of all, we need a 32 pixels margin 32. Yeah, let's have it on top and bottom. Is it? We want also the contact us to be on the center. So we can say contact form h1, text align center. Why it stopped reloading? Okay. And let's style the actual input. So I want the contact form input to have what we have. We have, first of all, a background color. We also have a border radius of 8 pixels, sorry. We want to not have any okay, no, this is let's make it discuss it a little bit further. Let's see how it looks now. Refresh. Perfect. And I want the padding, which is kind of 16 pixels, let's say on side and 12 on top. Padding 12 pixels, 16 pixels on sides. Now let's see. Yeah, but we have a border. I don't like it. And we have some highlighting when I click it. Let's remove it. Let's say that border none and outline none as well. Refresh and perfect. Awesome. Now I want to have the text inside of 16 pixels, but I have how much? I don't see. Okay, let's say font size 16 pixels. Yep. Let's edit here. And for the label, I want a font size of 14. So let's say contact form label. Do I have it? Yeah. Font size 14 pixels. Let's see. Yep, it is. And also we have a different color, which is this color. Sorry, this one. And let's check this out. So we don't need a grid anymore. Yeah, we have a perfect color, and I want now my every input to have margin bottom 16 pixels, because I think we have 16 pixels difference, the margin, sorry. Yep, right. So the last thing we need to do is to style a button. I just don't think this looks kind of ugly. I would make it actually the in the center, let's say. Let's try. So yeah, first of all, the color, the background is gonna be contact form submit button background green. Font color will be white. Border radius will be 8 pixel. And font size, which is the font size, 24. Font size 24 pixels. And width, actually take 100%. What do we have? Ta-da! And yeah, we of course need to remove. We need a padding first of all. What is the padding? 16. Padding 16 pixels. Border none. Over outline none. Let's check this out. Yep, we have it. Oh, it's the clicking goes to top, but yeah. So that's it. It looks nice. Let's see how it works on the small screen size. Yep, also looks good. The only thing that looks not good is this guy because it has too much padding, and I would actually, okay, let's say that where we have this article, big banner has a padding of 80 pixels, but I wanted to, let's say big banner padding 32 pixels here, and on the even smaller size, let it be 16 pixels. And let's see. So on the big screen, it has a big padding. On the smaller screen, it has a smaller one. And on the very small, it has even smaller size. So we have a full responsive page, well, apart from the contacts. But yeah, not to make this video too long, just let's leave it as it is. That was it. Thank you very much for watching that video. If you have any questions, please ask me directly in the comments. I will leave a link to the GitHub with the code in case you mess something up and need to check how it works. Thank you very much for being with me, and I will see you in the next videos. Have fun. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.